All right, Veggie Kids, it's story time. Let's dive into today's story. Once upon a time, high on a warm red mountain, lived a big, friendly dragon named Sparky. Sparky loved fire more than anything. The biggest, warmest, sparkliest fire he could make was his favorite thing in the whole world. His scales were bright red, and his breath could make big, warm flames that danced and roared. He loved to puff out clouds of smoke and watch them curl and twirl through the air. Sometimes he'd even blow a flame ring that looked like a giant hula hoop made of fire. One sunny morning, as Sparky dozed in his cave, a little voice woke him up. "Are you awake, Papa?" said a small voice. In walked a little dragon with red scales like his dad. His name was Fliker, and he was Sparky's son. Sparky opened one eye and smiled. "Of course I'm awake, my little Flicker. Did you bring me some nice dry twigs for my fire?" Little Flicker shook his head. "I found some very wet leaves outside. Can we make a fire with these?" Sparky laughed. "Silly Flicker, you can't make a good fire with wet things. You have to have dry sticks and a big breath of air. Then watch the sparks fly and the flames grow." He showed Flicker how to huff out a big cloud of smoke. And that's how you breathe fire, my little one. Flicker puffed out his chest and blew out a tiny puff of smoke. It just made a little wisp of steam. Sparky chuckled and nudged his son with his snout. "Don't worry, Flicker. It takes a lot of practice. Just keep trying." He knew it was hard for his little dragon son because he couldn't make big flames yet. Sparky wanted Flicker to be a mighty fire-breathing dragon, just like him. Every morning, Sparky would puff out a big cloud of smoke and say, "Flicker, my little one, come and learn to make grand flames. We are fire dragons." But Flicker wasn't so keen on making big fires. Instead, he loved to watch the world below the mountain. He often saw little humans moving around in a town. One day, he saw some humans wearing bright red coats and shiny hats. They had long green tubes that squirted water. "Papa," Flicker asked, his small tail wagging, "what are those humans doing with the water?" Sparky grumbled a bit. "Oh, those are firefighters, Flicker. They try to put out fires. Silly, isn't it? We dragons make fire." Flicker, however, thought it was amazing. "They look like they are helping people." "Papa, when there's too much fire, they make it safe." He started to imagine himself wearing a tiny red helmet and squirt a little water with a green hose. "Maybe one day I could be a firefighter, too," he said dreamily. Sparky raised an eyebrow. "Dragon firefighter? That's crazy tar." "Flicker? Dragons don't put out fires. We start them. Now, come on, let's try that fire again." But Flicker wasn't listening. He was already making plans for when he grew up. He wanted to have a big red fire truck and a tall ladder and a helmet that said "Fire Chief Flicker" on it. Sparky tried his best to teach Flicker the ways of a fire dragon. "Breathe deep, Flicker," he'd roar, showing him how to make a big flame. but Flicker would only manage a tiny warm puff, sometimes just a little cough of smoke. Then he'd sneak off and pretend to squirt water from a big leaf, making whoosh noises like a hose. He even tried to use a small cloud as a fire truck to put out pretend fires. Sparky shook his head and smiled. His little one was a dreamer, that was for sure. But he still hoped Flicker would want to learn to breathe fire. One hot summer day, a very small, dry bush near their mountain started to catch fire. It was just a little spark at first, then a small flame. Sparky saw it and thought, good, a chance to show Flicker how to make it bigger. But before Sparky could even take a deep breath, Flicker took off. I have to go help, he said without slowing down. I'll be a firefighter and put out that fire. Sparky flapped his wings and flew after his son. Wait, Flicker, you can't just breathe on a fire and expect it to go out. You might not even have enough water. But Flicker was already at the little burning bush. He flapped his tiny wings as fast as he could. He flew to a small puddle nearby. Carefully! He dipped his little claws into the cool water and quickly splashed it onto the burning bush. He splashed and splashed again and again until the little flame went out. He felt a big wave of happiness. Helping others and putting out a fire felt so good. Sparky watched from above, his big eyes wide. His son, his fiery dragon son, had just put out a fire. Sparky flew down, landing gently next to Flicker. Flicker, Sparky said, a little surprised. You, ... you saved that bush. Flicker looked up at his father, his face bright. Yes, Papa, I was like a firefighter. I helped make it safe. Sparky looked at his son, then at the wet, smoking bush. He saw how happy Flicker was. Helping others made him happy, too. Sparky thought about all the times he tried to teach Flicker to make fire and how Flicker always dreamed of water. Maybe, Sparky thought, Flicker didn't have to be just like him. Maybe Flicker could be a new kind of dragon. A dragon who could make fire, but also knew how to help keep everyone safe. A soft smile spread across Sparky's face. Well, my little Flicker, he rumbled gently, it seems you have a very special heart. Being a dragon who helps is a wonderful thing. And you still need to learn how to make a tiny flame for, toasty even firefighters like marshmallows. Flicker cheered and hugged his dad's big leg. From that day on, Sparky still taught Flicker about fire, but he also helped him learn about being helpful. Sometimes when Sparky breathed a big plume of smoke, Flicker would pretend it was a fire he needed to put out. They'd played together, pretending to be both firefighters and dragons. And sometimes they would both fly high above the valley, watching the real firefighters. Sparky feeling proud of his unique, kind-hearted son. The end. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our stories. Until next time, remember to be kind to others and never stop believing in the power of friendship and kindness. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.